In 1998, Alan Nair was the first to give Mill Valley a real presence on the World Wide Web with Mill Valley 94941, a comprehensive website chronicling local, past, and current events. Then a relatively new resident, Alan researched and wrote the articles and took the photographs. Long before the City of Mill Valley's official website, Mill Valley 94941 was state-of-the-art in online hometown news. Alan then developed the first Mill Valley Historical Society website with the eye of a fine artist, the brains of a high-tech guru, and the heart of a man who loves his community and its history. He went on to help other organizations navigate cyberspace: Seniors for Peace, Stream Keepers, Sustainable Mill Valley, the Milley Awards, Mill Valley Fire Department, and more. Often working pro bono, Alan set high standards in Marin for clean function and elegant style in his user interface design and development. He made websites readable, inviting, and easy to navigate and maintain. He updated them with new material to keep the online experience fresh, vital, and accurate. He freely contributed weeks, even months of his time to each project, and trained others in website development and maintenance. Alan is extremely patient, a natural-born teacher who simplifies computer complexity for the most computer-phobic. Tonight we honor his generous and gracious commitment to community service with the Solly Lieberman Award. Alan Nair. Originally the dream of a group of intrepid hikers that included a seasoned theater director, the mountain play has been a Mill Valley community tradition for 100 years. Productions evolved from early morality plays, folk tales, and pageants to lively American musicals complete with professional sets, costumes, and choreography. Today, a mountain play is like a Broadway show, only higher. It's truly theater with altitude. The annual event produced by the Mountain Play Association requires the service of hundreds each year: actors, directors, choreographers, costumers, set designers, crew, technicians, dancers, singers, and on-site staff and volunteers, the Mountain Play extended family. Each year, the anticipation begins with the exhilarating ride up our lush and lovely mountain. Then comes the convivial rush for seats, the unpacking of picnics, and the eager spotting of friends and neighbors. No matter the weather, it's always somehow right for the performance. And then, the performance, the most magical mix of talent, spectacle, and setting. And the audience, laughing, crying, and clapping, enjoying the play and music, soaking up the gorgeous views, smelling the outdoors, and having fun with their family and friends. It all happens in our own backyard, on our mountain, in that beautiful serpentine rock amphitheater built by the Civilian Conservation Corps. People come from all around to sit in the same spot that people have been sitting in for 100 years. But be warned, none of this description can truly capture the marvel that is the mountain play experience. It has to be lived to be believed. Tonight we honor this Mill Valley tradition with the Vera Schultz Award. A born naturalist, Kristen Jacob fell in love as a child with the plants and animals of her native Mill Valley. By junior high, her illustrations caught the eye of her first major collector, a family friend. Now a leader in the field of botanical illustration, Kristen remains a student of nature, fueled by delight and curiosity. Patience, passion, and extreme excellence characterize her art. Kristen's paintings are based on strict observation without the use of photographs. She gathers the specimens in the field and paints them while they're fresh. Her brushes are superfine, sometimes a single hair. Her compositions are natural, her colors true. Each portrait reveals the intricate character of its subject. Ever enthusiastic and kind, Kristen is a longtime volunteer with the California Native Plant Society and a frequent juror of art exhibitions and competitions. Whenever possible, she hikes and camps, always on the lookout for species on her to-do list. Because nature is a familiar home, she recognizes from year to year how native plants are doing, how they rebound or recede according to the season, climate change, and habitat alteration. Hers is not the panoramic view of the majesty of nature. Instead, Kristen beckons us with an inward voice to explore the complex intricacies of structure and subtle records of time and place. Through her paintings, we encounter the modesty, beauty, and vulnerability of our native plants. Kristen Jacob. Journalist, author, and native daughter Ann Killian combines deep knowledge of her subject with a true writer's eye for the telling detail, the narrative thread, and the truth beneath the facade. Ann began as a student reporter on the TAM News. She covered sports and wrote a humorous column patterned after Syra McFadden's The Serial about campus life. Her writing even then revealed her sharp talent for exploring layers of detail surrounding a person or event. From the start, Ann had the courage to ask the bold question. It's difficult for a woman sports writer to keep her resolve and level-headedness in a very emotional field, yet Ann is utterly fearless. Her first priority is to serve her readers. She has built a reputation as a smart, fair, and clear-eyed journalist who garners the respect of her colleagues and the people she covers. Her great work and longevity in the business have transcended gender. She is regarded as one of the best sports columnists in the country. She covers major sports events and has authored 2 books about top female athletes. Our world is far richer for Ann's nimble prose, discerning eye, her tenacity, and passion for scalping the guilty and celebrating the deserving, week in and week out. Ann Killian. Jim Lang is a broadcasting legend. Best known nationally as host of television's early game shows The Dating Game and Name That Tune, he's proudest of the years in radio that earned him a place in the Bay Area Radio Hall of Fame. With a golden voice, wit, and charm, Jim entertained us for 23 years on the KSFO airwaves. Even in the mornings, he was always upbeat and positive, and it wasn't just the coffee. People may forget words and deeds, but they never forget how you made them feel. When Jim spoke, you felt you were listening to a warm and caring friend. That was one of Jim's great gifts. On television, resplendent in his burgundy velvet tuxedo, he was polite, self-deprecating, and versatile, with the ability to improvise while keeping the show on track. When he wasn't playing straight man, he had an endless string of spontaneous one-liners that delighted audiences. Despite his sparkling TV career, Jim always considered radio, the theater of the mind, his first love. He returned to it in 1997 to host a show on KABL until the fabled San Francisco station went off the air. Whether on or off the air, Jim Lang is the same gentleman Jim who told his listeners as he signed off to remember to say please and thank you. Jim Lang. Once upon a time in a small town called Mill Valley, there was a quiet, mild-mannered storyteller named Phil. Throughout his life, he owned a bookstore, was a librarian, acted in many plays, and appeared on television and in movies. He was also a lively and active community leader, dedicated to teaching and sharing his passion for books, poetry, and theater with people of all ages, including those who were isolated or underprivileged. This is a true story, and Phil Sheridan is a treasure. In our Marin County libraries and schools, he volunteers his time and creativity to making literature come to life for young children. The energy and method he uses to embrace the vividly active child mind distinguish him from every other storyteller. He understands the power of the emotional and visual image. By embodying all the characters of a book, whether they are a person, animal, or the wind, Phil invites young imaginations to explore magic worlds full of dragons and dinosaurs and animals that talk. He's patient. The children can ask him questions. He doesn't mind if they interrupt his reading. He answers each question thoughtfully and calmly. Children will forget many things as they grow to adulthood, but the storyteller who takes the time to read to them is someone they will never forget. Phil is a rock star to the youth of Mill Valley. He has enhanced more lives than any of us, including Phil, can possibly know. Phil Sheridan. The gifts and talents of Dick Fraguglia, professional jazz musician and teacher, continue to enrich our community. His spirit of adventure and delight in exploring new territory have inspired generations of students and musicians. At Tamalpais High School, where he was a faculty member, Dick not only taught multiple subjects but created new curricula. He was the musician who taught jazz history, the journalist who taught journalism, the photographer who taught photography, the marathon runner and basketball player who taught physical education. Lunchtime sessions filled the room with an audience of teenagers, a rock and roll generation, recognizing the connections between jazz, blues, and rock and roll. Dick remained a friend and mentor to many. Dick was one of our first local musicians to take a chance and record on his own label, Blue Koala Records, and he inspired others to do the same. On solo piano and with small groups, he has ventured into new territory with his music. He has played in intimate clubs, top restaurants, small concert halls, and recording studios, and risen to the challenges presented by each. Once called the best saloon piano player in San Francisco, Dick reads a room, sometimes shuffles the pieces, always keeping a fidelity to himself, the music, and the audience. When he plays jazz, Dick embarks on a journey that can lead anywhere. Dick Fraguglia.